Okay, breaking news. Ding Tom. Damian Lillard has been traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks received Damian Lillard. Portland received Drew Holiday and DeAndre Ayton. And the Phoenix Suns received Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nazir Little, Keon Johnson, and other draft capital. How do we feel about Damian Lillard finally leaving the Portland Trailblazers?
Sorry, you got it, bro.
Well, I'm just glad it's over with. I feel like the biggest losers, I'm gonna just do like a winner and loser type of thing. I think the biggest losers was the Miami Heat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We all knew it was open that he wanted to go to the Heat. The Heat wanted him, so them not getting that done just kind of killed their championship hopes for me.
Okay.
I think the biggest winner, I think it's close between the Bucks and the Suns. I think the Suns finally got their depth. They lost Ayton, but they got their roster behind their big three.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the Bucks got Damian Lillard, and they didn't really give too much away. I feel like they still want to have a very solid starting five, and I feel like they're poised for a championship run. So
No, for sure. How you feel?
Like Socks, I'm just glad it's over, bro. Like, that was like a calm 3 months of just talking about it with nothing happening. I'm glad finally something happened. It kind of shocked me because I was in class. I had to like excuse myself to the bathroom so I can see read the full report because I'm like to the butt. Like, I thought it was one of those like troll Adrian Wojnarowski pages, bro, and I just happened to get the notification. But looking at this trade, I'm not gonna lie, biggest loser. So I'm gonna have to agree with you. The Heat definitely the biggest loser right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they basically was saying like, yo, not even them. Dame was basically saying, yo, this is the only team I want to go to. Miami was basically like already like setting the stone for like what they wanted to trade and everything like that. But now since the trade didn't happen, look what they gotta do. They gotta rebuild relationships with people that were already seeing. Tyler Hero was probably seeing his name in them articles for like the past every day. Every day he had to sit there and deal with that. Same with probably like, who else was probably in there? Like maybe even Caleb Martin. I doubt they was going to trade him.
Like Jaime Hopkins.
Yes. This is like, it's like you had to deal with your name being involved in these trade talks for months. Now you got to come back to the same people that was talking about trading you for damn near the whole summer. That's going to feel a little weird. Like, I don't think the chemistry really going to be there as far as that. I think they should still try to pursue somebody, maybe Harden, but that's really what it is. But winners, obviously, everybody going to say the Bucks, but for real, I think the winners is really the Trailblazers. Like, they got their rebuild set in stone, bro. They got Scoop, they got Simons, they got Ayton. Ayton, I believe, is probably what, 26, 25. Like with the Phoenix Suns, when they was on the Phoenix Suns, some people were disappointed in him because as a number one pick, you're not really doing what a number one pick should really do. And honestly, it was kind of hard for him to really expand his game after Chris Paul left and they got Kevin Durant. So with Portland, it's like he can really expand his game now. And I feel like Portland also won because they got Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday obviously not staying, so they want to flip him so they can get more space and even more, like maybe even picks, potentially maybe even more pieces. So I feel like this was definitely a W for the Trailblazers. They got way better. I feel like they got way better trade than what Miami was going to give them. To me, at least to me. But the Suns not looking a little bad either. The Suns actually look all right. Like I feel like they completed their role players. I feel like they completed their whole team for real. But bro, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, the biggest winners I think are, I'm gonna go with the Bucks, but I honestly like the Suns as a team more with this trade. But I'm gonna say the biggest winners are the Bucks. We know that Giannis hasn't starting to become a little uneasy, unhappy because he maybe hasn't been getting the help he maybe needs or desires. We know that Milwaukee's kind of a small market, so it's kind of going to be hard for a free agent maybe to sign there. So for them to pull off a trade that keeps Giannis happy, which I think is also very important, but you also maybe get a top 15 player return. So I definitely think they win the trade. I don't actually see any losers with this trade as well. I think everyone received what they need. Kev, I think you forgot to mention they also got 3 picks for the future. I think they're definitely playing with the future with this. Drew Holiday, like he said, he's probably not gonna stay. DeAndre Ayton, I'm kind of done with him. Like, I was kind of rooting for the Suns. He can score, but I don't think his motor runs high enough for me personally. But with the Suns receiving Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, and obviously Lyric, who I don't think is the best fit, but it just brings so much depth to a team that didn't have none last year. Like, we was relying on Kevin Durant and, you know, Devin Booker. I say we because I'm a fan of Kevin Durant and I also like Booker, but we're relying on them to, you know, average 35, get 7 assists each. You're not going to win games like that, especially with the talent nowadays. So they got their depth, and I just see them. It just made them a stronger team after this.
For sure. Jay, talk to me.
It was crazy, bro. Like, it's crazy because Kevin texted me this morning and told me that a trade was probably gonna happen
I
today.
texted him at 7:38 this morning. I said I felt a trade happening.
I was in the game.
I felt that in my soul, bro.
The Wall Street, like you said, I thought it was fake.
You know, sometimes
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought that was.
But it just said Wall Street. I'm like, let me just read it. I saw the check mark next to it. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yo,
That's
it was crazy,
But I mean,
bro.
we talk about the trade. I kind of got a different perspective on it. Like, my losers, we gonna start off with losers. The Portland Trailblazers fumbled the bag. They fumbled the bag. And I'm gonna start it off with this. I feel like, me personally, what Miami was offering them, it was cool. They gave you 2 young players, couple first round picks, Kyle Lowry expiring deal. You end up getting DeAndre Ayton, that's cool. I mean, you was gonna get Ayton anyway because you got him from the Suns, not the Heat.
Yeah.
What else they could get? Drew Holiday, I mean, that's cool. Probably gonna flip him for more expiring deals and more picks, but it's like, I don't know. Like, I mean,
I think for draft capital personally.
I think
they're
probably.
gonna, or a younger player. I don't think they'll go for like winning or anything
But like,
that.
how many picks are you getting for Drew Holiday at this point? I mean, he's a great player, but again, 34 years old. Probably
With that
getting
being
2 at
said,
best.
we know that, or they know that they're not going to be competing for, you know, title this year. So we want to see, okay, what can Scoop become? What can Simons maybe morph
Sure.
into? So I think they want to show off their younger players. That's why I more think Drew is going to get sold for maybe picks instead of like maybe a great player.
Yeah, right.
They also got Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, that's like the building what I was saying. I mean, the Bucks, they definitely won the deal. As for right now,
Yeah.
as for right now, they're short-term winners. I mean, upgrade the point guard position by a massive margin. You got Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, you can make the argument that the best 2 players in the East are on the Bucks. Now, you can make the argument. I wouldn't make that argument because I'm big on Joel Embiid. But depending on how you see certain players, they have the argument to be top 3.
They had the best big and the best guard.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, you can make that argument.
So I mean, the Bucks, I think it makes them better a lot, but we just gotta see it because usually teams that get the best player in the deal, they don't always come out as winners in the long term. So maybe down the line, the Bucks don't really get better from what they were. They don't get back to that championship status, and they fall apart because they did give up those draft picks down the line. And Giannis, I mean, we probably know like that he's gonna sign an extension, but we never know. Maybe he might sign the extension and a year later I went out. Because by then Damian Lillard might be 35, 36, so it's always a risk. And you swing for the fences, I respect it, but we just gotta see.
Cause my fault, bro. Before you start, I just want to ask y'all. Were y'all surprised it wasn't Middleton instead of Drew? I'm not gonna lie. I thought Middleton was the one that got traded. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting Drew. It makes sense.
It makes sense.
I'm not to say like it makes sense it was Drew, but like I just wasn't. I thought because I've been hearing Middleton.
You just signed a new deal. So
Yeah, you can't get traded.
Oh, okay. Because like you know with the Bucks, it's like when they talk about trades and stuff, like
It is
they mention Middleton a lot. So like,
I mean, but just before you go, would you rather trade Middleton?
No. I think Middleton makes perfect. No, I think
Right.
Middleton staying there makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm just so used to hearing like Middleton always being involved in these trades.
I think it's actually interesting who you. It's a good discussion of who you could have got rid of because
There's pros and cons of both.
we've definitely seen from before 2021 how the Bucks look. You know, they were for about 2 or 3 years they were starting to come out as the best team. Giannis won 2 MVPs, but they were still going off first round. They get Drew Holiday, that changes the world for them. We obviously. You know, Kyrie gets hurt in the semifinal series, but they went on and won the championship.
Yeah.
So we know Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday defense with Devin Booker and Chris Paul, you can make the argument.
That was so and they also needed a better creator, another scorer who could take the load off Middleton or Giannis if they're maybe struggling. So I definitely Drew Holiday, whoever gets him, they're gonna be a solid team.
I don't mean to keep cutting you
Yeah,
off.
I know
we said best for
I
last.
just want to cook on the Suns real quick. I mean, me personally, I think the Suns came out best in the deal. Me personally,
Like roster-wise.
Roster-wise.
Okay.
What they have, I mean, they added Grayson Allen, who was a solid starter on that Bucks team last year.
Yeah.
And Nasir Little, a young forward that's on a nice team-friendly deal.
Yusuf Nurkic.
Now, the use of Nurkic dynamic from Aiden, they did take
I'm about to say, like, I feel like it definitely was a downgrade.
Definitely was a downgrade for sure.
Like, do you feel the downgrade is majority like defensively or offensively? I feel like offensively,
I think
It's both,
I
really.
think
Yeah,
I think defensively matters more because offensively, I mean, you don't really want a center like Aiden that's demanding so many touches when you have a big three like KD.
I was saying the offense wouldn't even matter.
And to be honest, defensively with Aiden, we were seeing him get cooked by Jokic and Jock Landale having to come in.
we were seeing Westbrook cooking.
Yeah, like honestly, so like we like the defensive like drop down. Yeah, we could say with the Nurkic is bad, but like 8 and 25, acting like he's 30. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's not.
it's not that big of a drop off in my opinion.
I definitely, think Aiden's a better player at this point, but Nurkic. Well, actually, yeah, Nurkic isn't a better fit to Aiden. So I definitely think center. They maybe downgrade a little bit, but they're gonna get something else. I think they got another trade up their sleeve. They know they're a rim protector away from maybe actually.
I think the
being
fact
a
that they
top
got
team.
more depth was
Right.
outweighs the fact that they downgraded the center.
Yeah, that was definitely more.
Because you have a big three, now you have a solid rotation. Like in the past, we see big threes when they first come together, they
Like that, yeah.
Miami, LeBron. You can kind of make the argument Brooklyn and
You
KD.
can't make the Golden State argument.
You can make the Golden State argument. They had their top 4 or 5.
They're trying to get the Nick Young's, the Omri Casperys and all them.
But they have to have
But those are the guys who wins and lose championships.
Yeah.
Uh,
the role players.
Yeah, I think to me, the NBA, a role player, your job is to make it as easy as possible for
For
a
the star
superstar.
player.
So what they contribute is going to be, really important.
Mm-hmm. But to my winners and losers have their couple missed topics, but I think the winners, and this might sound weird, but the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks, but let me say this because these are two teams that was in the finals 2 years ago. And in the last 2 years, they got Damian Lillard and Kevin Durant on their respective teams. You know what I mean? Like
Bradley Bill to a smaller extent.
Bradley Bill on a smaller extent, like they got the depth that they needed, like to come back. And we're talking about two teams with their superstars being loyal to the slow. They did like Devin. It would have been easy for Devin Booker and Giannis to request a trade a long time ago. But the fact that they're starting to attract people to their smaller market teams, like
They brought the super team to
they
them.
brought the super team to them. Like Giannis could have went to like a Miami, New York. Booker could have went to the Lakers or something like that. But they're like, yo, this is the place. Y'all want to play with me because I'm the winner. On a smaller scale, I want to say the winners are like I said, the Suns. The depth of having Nazir Little. I don't think Keon Johnson is going to be on this roster by the end of training camp. But Grayson Allen, Nazir Little, I can see those two. Let's say Bradley Bill has an ankle sprain or Devin Booker. Those two, like the defense that they bring, they have Bobo on that bench, Eric Gordon. They got a couple of names. They got some pieces. But a loser I wouldn't want to say is Portland. Like you traded your best player in franchise history for DeAndre Ayton. And I know, like, and whatever Drew Holiday brings, but and I'm not saying like, but you're trying to tell me that Brooklyn couldn't give you a better package. Miami, I like Miami package.
I definitely
That's
think
what
their
I'm
whole deal is they're just gonna go young, just completely clean
For
the
sure.
slate. And I don't think that their goal was to be the winner of a deal with Dame or just become like
So I
a.
got a question. So you said they lost, like they were losing. So how much do you think of Dame saying that he doesn't want to go to any other team besides Miami affected like them talking to Brooklyn? Like you think they didn't talk to Brooklyn because of what Dame said?
But you gotta think, if Dame said that, right? They ended up trading him to Milwaukee,
Right.
which is in Miami, which is a small market. So I think that was a bluff. Like you could have got more out of Toronto.
But to counter, do you think Milwaukee only stepped in that position because of what Giannis is saying this offseason?
Yeah, for sure. That's why I think Milwaukee a winner because
Right.
every time that, and I saw a tweet earlier that Troy mentioned, Milwaukee is doing everything that Cleveland failed to do with LeBron his first stint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they surrounded Giannis with the shooters, the Michael Brogdons. Oh, Eric Bledsoe's not good. Let's get Drew Holiday. Win a chip with that. Oh, cool. You talking about leaving? Let's sign all your brothers. Let's bring all your family, wherever you want. Oh, you talking about leaving again? Let's get Damian Lillard. He talking about playing with Steph Curry. Let's get the second best thing on the market. Well, I say Portland was losers from Damian Lillard should have been traded 2 years ago. That's neither here nor there, but
Honestly.
But like a package you could have got for Dame 2 years ago, or even a season ago, when you guys kept on trying to fake compete. It's like now you got Ayton, and like you said, they didn't even get Ayton from the Dame stuff. They got you could have done Nurkic, Grayson Allen, and Zero Little for Ayton.
Yeah.
And to be honest, y'all really got Drew Holiday and picks, and Milwaukee. And look at how Milwaukee about to look. Because I don't think Giannis about to leave.
I feel like that also comes with the fact that some teams just don't want to give up certain players. Like I'm reading right now, it's a tweet from the Dunk Central, which was also confirmed by at the Toronto Sun on Twitter. Toronto simply did not want to dangle OG and
Oh yeah, we know Masai jury is.
like that. Like I'm
he's
not gonna lie,
and then the
that
rest
was like when you get somebody like Dame to come to not Toronto is a city, right? But
Yeah.
this is the only
sport
from
team,
Canada in basketball. If you can get a star like Damian Lillard to attract to something like that, bro,
but
it's like.
I think the thing is that, we say Dame, he's a star, right? But how super is he? Now, if he goes to the Raptors, does that make them a top 4 team in the East? I don't think that swings the.
Yeah, that didn't swing.
I don't, especially if you lose Anunoby, your best defender, a top 7 defender in the league. Like Anunoby, he's one of our best defenders. What else would they say would he have to throw in that trade? Like you will lose a lot of depth, and I don't think you become that guy. Especially you lost, I think, a top 5 coach in Nick Nurse.
Yeah,
so I don't think that they would have been competing regardless.
Yeah.
So I definitely think for winning wise, Dame wise, he should be happy where he ended.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that too, but I also feel like you could constantly even say the same thing for Miami. I feel like Miami lost a lot of their.
That's what I'm about to say.
Like,
The biggest loser I have for all this is Miami.
Yeah.
Y'all lost Gabe Vincent to the Lakers. Y'all lost Max Strus to Cleveland. Y'all had a chance to trade for Bradley Beal. We forget that.
Yeah.
Remember, Bradley Beal said Phoenix or Miami.
yeah.
Miami said, no, we're going to wait out for Dame. Look how that turned out.
So-
Y'all could have got Christian Wood and Kelly Oubre. Christian Wood to the Lakers. Like Gabe Vincent. Y'all lost 2 people to the Lakers.
So if you are Miami though, looking back, do you think you should have made that Bill move, or are you glad you missed out on Dame? Maybe you could say, all right, we can take this year, build up the players we have now, and then 2024. Now, if you have another player on the market that's maybe better than Dame, cool. We can make that push next year. Really offer everything we have.
I would have went for Bill personally.
Yeah.
Because the Bill wasn't the trade for Bill wasn't going to be Tyler Hero.
Right.
Do y'all remember Bill got traded for Chris Paul? That contract, so you trying to tell me Kyle Lowry and Chris Paul, their value at that contract wasn't the same?
Exactly.
So you guys could have found a way to still keep Hero. And I don't know if this sounds like realistic or anything, but you guys could have dangled Hero in the Dame trade. Yeah, it had to. Yeah, so
they
probably
probably had to.
They would have had more, but
Yeah.
you struck out with both of them anyway, and you lost Max Strus, who helped you. What was it? The first round when they played against the Bucks. You lost Gabe Vincent, who was probably the best point guard on your team last season.
And then to piggyback off what Jay said, bro, like waiting to like see who's going to be available in the market, bro. Jimmy Butler just turned 34, bro.
He's not getting any
He's
younger.
not getting any younger, and he's not going to want to keep carrying the shit on his back like he's been doing for the past 4 seasons he's been with the Heat. Like Kev said, it's like with Beal, you could have got somebody. You should have got somebody, but now you put all your chips in the Dame. You lost Gabe Vincent. You lost Max Strus. You, like I said, you kind of like messed up. You kind of messed up your chemistry with the other guys as well, like Tyler Hero, for instance. Because
Now it's
like it's going to be weird with him coming back because he was hearing his names in trade talks all summer. So I feel like they should have just got somebody, but unfortunately they did. They put all their pieces in the Dame. To be honest, I don't really like. I said this in the first episode. I didn't really think they was going to be like a top 4 team anyway, for real, just off the strength that they already give up their depth. It really just would have been Dame, Jimmy, and Bam. Caleb Martin would have been really helpful too, but at the same time, that's not competing with the Celtics. That's not really competing with Philly. Like, and then at the same time, like I said, bro, it all comes down to what people were willing to give up. That's why I don't really think Portland's really a loser, because I feel like they got the best deal they could have possibly gotten. Miami would have been Tyler Hero.
We don't know. We don't know.
That
That was the real.
just going based off reports, bro. That's really what was going on. I feel like, but you know,
But no, shout out to the Bucks. Like we talking a little negative, but shout out to the Bucks. You guys got a top 3, top 5 point guard decision maker. I want to see this pick and roll. I can't wait.
All right, so to spin it off a little bit, like Y'all think this affects the Sixers? Cause I've been seeing this on social media. I'm like, no. I'm like, yo, like, they're like, oh, Sixers are cooked. Process is over. I'm like, bro, we are in the same position. Like, obviously, we have to trade hard and make a couple moves here and there.
But no,
Like, it's so funny because I'm like, no, like, because when you said that, it was like, I'm like, think about it. Yeah, like, I don't know, bro. I mean, is it directly affecting us?
Not really directly. I just feel like
It's just harder than
I feel like that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I
you
feel
think
like
Miami should pivot to a James Harden then?
I mean,
Because they need a point guard.
No, honestly, I think with Miami, I'm still staying with them as the fourth best team in the East. Like, I think if you have
Miami, Gabe Vincent, Mike
it's
Jackson.
kind of like the Patriots, not obviously to that extent, but if you have Bill and Tom, you have Jimmy Butler, Eric Spoelstra, Bam Adebayo, with that core, you know they're also tremendous leaders, but he coacher, everyone's gonna stay in shape, everyone's gonna be playing defense, everyone's gonna be ready to play every night. So I definitely think with their experience as well, like we said, they've been to 2 finals, Game 7 Eastern Conference Final over the past 4 years. That's their resume.
Yeah.
In the East, that's the best resume. So it'll have no reason for me not to believe that they can't replace their role player that they've been switching. Like Gabe Vincent he wasn't on the 2020 team. Who was on the 20? Like they can switch their role players. I feel like, and they'll be just fine, honestly.
but like,
Especially if you keep Hero, they'll still get you 20.
You think Hero wants to be there though?
I mean, maybe
You can argue now, but
I think if
that's still Miami. That's still a lit situation where he gonna go somewhere cold and be mad as shit now. I don't know.
but he, like you said with the East, bro. My fault. What you saying?
I'm just saying, like, if you're the Heat at this point, like, chill with the trade talks. Like, I mean, he's going into his 5th year. You signed him last year. Like, maybe try to build him up as a lead guard. Like, I mean, right now, after Dame, who's really out there to trade? Like you said, Harden. Oh, bro. That's what I mean. Like,
My thing with that is
like, how much better are you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, honestly,
Zach
bro.
LaVine, over Hero, that's a solid upgrade.
But how much?
I think that's a very significant.
I think
that's very significant.
I think that gets them that score that can score anytime. I feel like Hero sometimes with certain defenders or certain pressure, it's harder for him. Levine, he can give it to you all 3 levels like Hero, but I think
Levine
he has
is
a little
timid
bigger.
sometimes. That's a problem.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm not saying Levine is even
crazy,
top 20, but Levine's bag and
The deep is not
experience.
for
So
You add that with Jimmy, who we know he can average 25 in any series.
So I want to ask you something. Y'all remember back
That's
in
a
the
nice
day?
pickup.
Y'all remember back in the
I
day
like that.
where
That's scary
trade
for
talk?
Philly.
It is
For
not
real.
scary, but y'all remember back in the day when trade talks would happen and like everybody would be putting like pictures of players in like Laker jersey swaps and like photoshopping Lakers jerseys on people. I feel like it's kind of like that with Miami right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Miami stay in these trade talks and they stay in these free agency like battles for these players, but they get
never get 'em.
nobody. They don't
Never
get
get 'em.
nobody. It's damn near like what happened with the Knicks in 2019. People thought the Knicks was going to get a top pick, get Zion.
They
And
wanted
then Zion,
Zion,
KD, and Kyrie.
Yeah.
They ended up getting Julius Randle,
And Marcus Morris,
and Marcus Morris. Like, I don't know. I just, like you said, Jay, I feel like the Heat need to really chill out on these trade talks,
Now,
man.
I have a question for y'all. One part of this trade that's unsettled. Where's Drew Holiday going? Bro, I'm gonna ask you first. Where do you think Drew Holiday's going? Because Portland said they have no plans of keeping him. So they said a lot of contending teams are calling for him. And we, as reports said, other teams like the Sixers, the Clippers, and other teams have called for Drew Holiday's name.
Celtics too.
Celtics, yeah. So
Yeah, well,
where do you think Drew Holiday should go?
where do I think he should go? That's tough. But what I will tell you is any team that can add a Drew Holiday to that team is going to add a lot of value. Obviously, we've seen what he did with Milwaukee. Like I said, I'm not going to say he turned it around, but as soon as you get Drew, you right to the finals. I think he can play make. He's a solid scorer. If he's a 2 option, he can easily average 20. But his best role, if you have him at the 3 option, he can still give you 15 to 17 efficiently.
6 assists.
6 assists
Great
while giving
ball
you
defense.
defensive player of the year defense. So I think that Drew, wherever he goes, he's gonna be just fine.
Okay. Saki.
I think the Sixers. I mean, I don't see why not. Why wouldn't we want to do that to try to get the Harden situation situated? We'll get somebody who actually that want to play for us.
Do you think there's too many defensive guards? Because you have Melton, Pat Bev, you think Drew Holiday? You think like how?
I think any positive asset for Harden at this point you take.
Yeah.
Honestly, Drew
Except
Holiday,
for Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
championship point guard, you put next to Tyrese Maxey so he can play his two positions.
Because he can.
Drew,
Yep.
Offense and defense kind of like a little. Like,
He
That's
can
perfect.
defend around B too.
So I feel like Philly for sure. Does Miami make a little pivot to Drew Holiday, or is it just like?
I wouldn't even because now if I'm Portland, I don't trade Drew Holiday for a Jaime Jaquez or Tyler Hero.
I'm not gonna lie, if they do that, that's kind of disrespectful. I'm not gonna
Is it
lie.
though?
Bro, PPP. Portland basically saying, yeah, you wasn't good. You ain't coming up with a good package enough to get Dame. But all right, since we got Drew, you can get a little something from us
But
now.
like,
You
you
know,
know, like,
it is what it is with that.
I think me personally, as a Clipper fan, I would love for Drew Holiday to come back to LA. You know, he went to UCLA, from LA, killed in high school, played against Paul George and Kawhi in high school, all that. I think he would be a perfect off guard. He played the two guard in New Orleans with Rondo.
And they excel.
They excel
Remember
crazy.
2018,
Yeah,
19.
I remember.
Come on,
Because
man.
they locked up Dean.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I watched that.
man.
I actually watched that.
That was
I watched
scary
that
sight.
too.
That was a scary
Look
sight.
how the world
Takes
works.
its turn.
Yeah, but like I think Russ at that too. I think the Clippers have so many young. They have a couple young assets. They have a couple power forwards and a couple picks. I feel like I would have went Harden. I would love Drew Holiday because he could play the off two guard. When Russ wants to play the cutter slasher role, you would have Drew bring the ball up so PG and Kawhi don't have to always bring the ball up. They can play more off ball. They can play more, savor their energy on defense.
For sure.
So that the ball isn't going through them. You now you have 2 point guards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, with their injury history,
With the injury
that's
history.
another ball handler who can take pressure off whoever is
Yeah.
there. So I think if he somehow goes to the Clippers, that would be good. I think it'll be better if he went to Philly. I think that's a
I
better
think there's no
situation.
wrong answer.
I
You can make the argument for Boston because Malcolm Brogdon's unhappy with them.
Yeah.
He
Like you
will.
said, any team that gets
Any
Drew,
team,
you're gonna
yeah.
get a positive player right there. There's no,
I mean, I can see Drew Holiday. We can see
But
Drew
I
Holiday.
kind of
see
love
him
that. I
any team
kind
for
of
real,
love
bro.
that fit though in Philly. You
He's
get
right there.
we get what
Where you send Harden?
The Clippers.
yeah, man.
I don't like.
Cut the talk.
I'm gonna keep it a B.
I'll be honest, like,
I don't want either of them. I'm not gonna lie.
you know why that would have happened? Because the Clippers could have got Harden anytime they wanted to. So why would they want him now?
You told me.
I just feel like I don't want either of them for real. Like I like the team we have now. Like I'm like all
Marcus
right.
Morris is still on the team.
All right. That's a problem. We need to fix that. But other than that, bro, it's just like I feel like all right. I'm trying to say this as calmly as possible, bro. The last time we had too many people on our team, bro. The 3-1 league.
But I'm saying Drew
We
Holiday is a low maintenance star. I mean, not star, low maintenance player.
That's cool. But like,
When you come to start,
I mean,
yeah.
he's been an all-star
Yeah,
champion,
okay.
average 20.
Okay.
The low maintenance star, cool. He's shown that he could play with another ball handler like Rondo. He played with Lonzo.
Yeah.
He showed he could play two guard. He showed that he could. When we play against Devin Booker, if he don't want to guard him, Drew, go guard him.
Shit, he'll take Booker.
He take Booker. We saw what he do with Booker.
We see that Drew, he's also like a spout, 6'4", 6'5". So
Yeah,
with
so-
that frame, he also guards wing. We see
Let's
all
like
the
go against the
time.
Warriors. Drew, go on Steph. Russ, go on Clay. PG and Kawhi not take the day off, but I think at this point in their career, PG and Kawhi would be better help side defenders. And you have a point of attack defender like Drew Holiday.
Yeah,
And plus, we're going to have the LA boys.
But at the same
Hey,
time,
they all
like,
from
They gotta
LA.
be attacking Russ. That's what you're going after.
Exactly.
That
Russ not bad.
No, Russ not better.
No, I'm not saying that. That's what they're going after, though.
True.
They gonna be sadly mistaken.
But Drew Holiday, that just brings the defense even more up. Now it's less burden on PG and Kawhi. I know we'll talk about the low management rule with the NBA.
But you gotta think about who we give up in that deal if we was to do that.
Marcus Morris, Brandon Boston,
I don't think anybody-
Amir Coffey, Jason Preston. I'm
Keep
thinking
throwing the Amir Coffee in there.
Kobe Brown.
He stayed with Amir Coffee.
But like,
I just
Robert Compton back. You know what
I
I'm
just
saying?
don't want it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just very comfortable
But
with the team. Yeah, right.
speaking about the Clippers.